Imagine stepping into a country where the currency dances between reals and dollars, where roads kick up more red dust than your favorite desert movie, and where being called a sheep is oddly affectionate. Sounds like a riddle wrapped in a mystery, right? Welcome to Cambodia, a land full of surprises that will leave you scratching your head and itching to know more. Ready to unravel the mysteries of Cambodia? Let's dive in. Cambodians divide by 4 without errors. And although the official currency of Cambodia is the Cambodian riel, in fact, there are 2 currencies in circulation in Cambodia, both reals and US dollars. Dollars can be used to pay for absolutely everything throughout Cambodia, from buying bananas along the road to paying for real estate. The unofficial rate throughout the country is $1 equals 4,000 riel, only in some places 4,100 riel. This rate is slightly different from the official one. In June 2019, $1 equals 4,077 riel, but no one will bother. If you pay in dollars, you will be calculated by default as 1 to 4,000, or no one will agree to accept dollars. If you don't mind paying a little extra, exchange dollars at a bank in advance. The quality of the roads cannot be described in words. The quality of roads in Cambodia leaves much to be desired. That's not the word. Words can't describe it, you just have to drive on the roads yourself to feel all this brutality. We have never seen so much red dust along the roads in any other country, which is why it suddenly ends when you cross the border. In Thailand and Vietnam, everything is clean, but when you enter Cambodia, you suddenly get clouds of red dust and dirt. Of course, it's not just dirt roads in Cambodia. Most of the main roads here are of normal quality and some are even good. Casinos and the Chinese. In recent years there have been a lot of Chinese in Cambodia. They not only invest here, but also go on vacation. One of the main reasons for the Chinese interest in Cambodia is the casinos. The Chinese are very gambling people, and perhaps this is the reason why casinos are banned in China. Many Chinese fly to Macau to play casinos, but it is not cheap there. It is often cheaper to fly to another country than to pay for bets in Macau. For example, you can place bets in Cambodia, where casinos are allowed in certain areas, in Sihanoukville and border areas. Bribes at the borders. We have heard stories more than once, and even once found ourselves in a situation where, when entering or leaving Cambodia and Laos, border guards demanded a bribe of $1 to $5 for a stamp, rush hour, weekend, or something else. White people are all sheep. It turns out that calling you Ram in Cambodia has nothing to do with insulting you, but simply identifies you as a white person. The whole point is that from the mid-19th to the mid-20th century, Cambodia was a colony of France. Baran, in translation from the Khmer language, the national language of Cambodia, means French. During the years of colonization and after it, there were a lot of French people in Cambodia, and even now there are many tourists from France. So after gaining independence, every person of European appearance remained a sheep for Cambodians. They don't know where you come from, but you look like French. Colonial architecture. Cambodia was a French colony for almost a century, so it is not surprising that some cities still retain a lot of colonial architecture. This is especially noticeable in the city of Kampot in southern Cambodia near the coast. Despite long years of colonization, Cambodians do not hold a grudge against the French, and nowadays most tourists are from France. Angkor Wat is not the only one. It is difficult to find a traveler who has not heard of the world's largest temple complex, Angkor Wat, and has not visited it while in Cambodia. However, this wonder of the world may be out of reach for super-budget tourists. Entrance to Angkor Wat for one day costs $37. A visit to Angkor Wat is definitely worth the money, but it is far from the only temple in Cambodia worth visiting. For example, 60 kilometers from Siem Reap is the Beng Milea Temple with an entrance fee of $5 per person, which exudes antiquity and authenticity. And not far from Phnom Penh, we discovered the incredibly beautiful Prasat Vimayan Ko Pos, where admission is free. So friends, don't be upset if for some reason you couldn't get to the place where the Lara Croft movie was filmed. After all, Cambodia is simply dotted with magnificent Buddhist architecture. Mobile apps for calling rickshaws. The PassApp app works on the same principle as Grab or Uber. You choose the appropriate mode of transport. A car, a tuk-tuk, which is something between a car and a motorcycle, or a Khmer tuk-tuk, where passengers are taken in a carriage. A regular tuk-tuk is the cheapest and, given the traffic jams, the fastest to get to your destination. The 12-kilometer tuk-tuk ride cost us $3.50. But it's good that we also followed the route because the driver didn't know how to use a map at all. He must have gotten used to doing circles by the meter. Not all hotels can be booked. It turned out that very few guest houses in Cambodia are registered on Booking.com and marked on the map. We got the feeling that some guest house owners are not even aware that it is possible to somehow promote their business online. So keep in mind that in Cambodia you can count on guest houses on the way. Their quality can be quite deplorable, but the price is also low, about $6 for a room with a fan, $10 for the ability to use air conditioning. As a rule, in the second case, they simply do not take away the remote control from the air conditioner. Karaoke is not what you think. In our country it is customary to sing at karaoke, but in Southeast Asia this is not always the case. In particular, in Cambodia there are so-called karaoke karaoke with hugs, which are essentially brothels. Prostitution in Cambodia is illegal, so people have to disguise themselves as best they can. Where can you meet beggars? Here you can meet beggars not only in tourist places. They look like ordinary people, but as soon as they see foreigners, sheep, they immediately make a miserable face and start begging. Locals approve of such an initiative and not only willingly give them money but also point a finger, like share 1,000 with a person. They speak English here. Despite the low level of development of the country, in Cambodia, the majority of the population speaks at least a little English. Even in tin houses there are people who can say the price of goods in English, and there are many signs in English throughout the country. Only occasionally were we refused entry to a guest house simply because we were foreigners, and apparently did not speak Khmer. Although such situations happened quite often in Vietnam. White cows with birds. The typical Cambodian landscape in my mind is a plain with rice fields and solitary palm trees. In such fields you can often see typical white cows, monotonously chewing grass, with small birds circling around the animals like the moon around the earth. It looks very cute. How many religions are there? Before traveling through Cambodia we considered this country to be exclusively Buddhist. Then the locals told us that Cambodian Buddhism is closely intertwined with Hinduism. Our friend guide even told us that, relatively speaking, Buddhism in Cambodia is 75% Buddhism and 25% Hinduism. Although Buddhism is considered the national religion of Cambodia, it is practiced by about 93% of the population. The second most important religion in the country by the number of believers is Islam, 4 to 5% of the population. Muslims are not only scattered throughout Cambodia, but there are even areas where they are a clear majority. One of such areas is the province of Koh Kong, where you can meet not only women in Muslim attire, but also food to taste, like in Malaysia. Here, even the food is served differently. You do not order a dish from the menu but choose from which pot they will pour your meat, fish, or vegetables for rice. This dish costs the same in all villages of the province, $2. New Year is celebrated at noon. Let's start with the fact that the New Year we are accustomed to from December 31st to January 1st is one of the mediocre holidays that came to Cambodia with the Western influence. The New Year, according to the lunar calendar, which is celebrated at the end of January or the beginning of February, the date of the holiday according to the Gregorian calendar changes every year, is a different matter. People approach the New Year's celebration very carefully. They prepare food for 4 days in advance, buy gifts and cardboard copies of valuables, houses, money, passports. The paper wealth is needed to burn it at noon in the name of deceased relatives. Lunar New Year is the most important holiday not only in Cambodia but also in Vietnam. By the Independence Monument. And although Cambodians have a very good attitude towards the French, it is clear that they are very proud of their independence from France in 1953. The first Independence Monument, a lotus-shaped stupa, appeared in Phnom Penh in 1958. Of course it is the largest independence monument in the country and the calling card of Cambodia. Over time, smaller monuments of a similar shape appeared in many cities of Cambodia, Cape, Dun Cayu and other cities. Would you like to go to Kyiv? Just imagine, Kyiv is not only in Ukraine, one of the Cambodian islands has this name. The full name of the island is Koh Ta Kyiv, which means small island in Khmer. The island is indeed small and less noticeable than other islands in the Sihanoukville area, Koh Rong and Koh Rong Samluem. But Kota Kiev is wilder and less crowded. A great place for those who want to spend a weekend in the jungle. A round-trip boat ticket from Sihanoukville is about $10. It's really worth a day or two to hang out on the beach, stay in a bungalow and feel like a Cambodian Robinson. Hey, do you need a watch? Few people know this, but Cambodia has earned a reputation as one of Asia's largest producers of cheap watches. The selection of watches on the shelves of Phnom Penh is huge. Here you can find copies of world brands at affordable prices, and the quality? It depends on your luck. Rice is delicious. Half a century ago, the brutal dictator Pol Pot came to power in Cambodia, and in just 3 years he killed half of the country's population. The survivors were forced to plant rice in the fields and completely obey the dictatorial regime. As a result of their bloody history, Cambodians have honed their skills in rice cultivation, and now Cambodian rice is one of the tastiest in the world. Rice in pineapples. Rice, at first glance, is the most common and typical dish in Asia. For us it turned out to be delicious, but over time many people get bored. But an unusual presentation of rice can change everything. One of the most original ways to serve rice in Cambodia is in a pineapple. Chicken and pineapple pieces are usually added to the fried rice itself. The recipe of course can change, but this dish looks very appetizing. Crolans. This is a national snack of Cambodians. Crolans are sold mainly along the roads, and it is not immediately clear that this is food. Sweet rice with beans is stuffed into a thick bamboo stick, hollow inside. Then this dish is closed with a bamboo plug on the other side and heated on a homemade fire. It awaits its buyer hot. This delicacy costs about $1, and one portion is enough for a snack for two. Anyway, if you see Crolanis along the road, don't pass by. Durian Monument. It is very difficult to describe the taste and smell of durian for those who have never dealt with it. But the fact remains, in developed countries, durian is prohibited from being carried in public transport because of its characteristic smell of sewage. Who eats it? You ask. Yes, almost all Asians adore it, call it the king of fruits, and they can't put a price on it. The price in Cambodia for unpeeled durian in season is about $5 per kilogram. The Cambodians went further than anyone else. They even erected a monument to the durian in the very center of Kampot, one of the most touristic cities in Cambodia. If you cover your nose with a clothespin and force yourself to take a bite, durian doesn't seem so disgusting. It's reminiscent of a very filling fruit dessert. Although, some people find it tastes like rotten onions. If you are in Cambodia, try durian for fun. Locals advise buying fresh durians, otherwise the fruit spoils quickly. We hope you will appreciate the king of fruits. If you have already tried durian, write your impressions in the comments. Salt and pepper. Cambodia doesn't produce much, but salt and black pepper are definitely no problem here. Just like rice, you already know about it. In the area of Kap, there is the largest salt production factory, and there is even a monument in honor of the miners. Pepper plantations are everywhere. We were even offered to live on one of them for $5,000 a year and keep all the profits from sales. Beware of mines. They say that Cambodia still remains one of the most mined countries in the world. Over 30 years of wars, millions of unexploded mines and shells remain in Cambodia. A 2010 study estimated that there are about 6 million active mines under mega-tourist Siem Reap alone. Since the end of the Civil War and the Vietnam War, about 60,000 civilians have been killed by mines. According to international organizations, Cambodia will only be completely cleared of mines in about 50 years, and the most mined area is considered to be the province of Battambang in the west of the country. So think twice before you venture into uncharted areas and ignore warning signs. From dual currencies to roads cloaked in red dust, Cambodia has proven to be a land of surprises and contradictions. We've explored temples that rival Hollywood sets, discovered why karaoke might not mean what you think, and even learned the unique way Cambodians divide by 4 without missing a beat. It's a country where history, culture, and modern quirks collide to create an experience like no other. If this journey through Cambodia's wonders and mysteries has intrigued you, make sure to hit that like button. It's the best way to show us you enjoyed the ride. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more incredible stories and eye-opening adventures from around the world. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep exploring. See you in the next video.